Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're diving into one of the biggest mysteries in science and philosophy, consciousness. What is it? Where does it come from? And how did it evolve? In this video, we're going to explore some of the deepest and most fascinating questions about life and the universe. From the mystery of consciousness to the roots of awareness itself, there's a lot to unpack. So get comfortable and let's begin this incredible journey into the mind. Consciousness is one of the biggest mysteries in nature. At its core, it's what allows us to be aware of the world around us and of ourselves. But when we try to think deeply about consciousness, we often end up going in circles. We all have an intuitive understanding of it. After all, you're experiencing it right now, in this very moment. But the moment we try to define exactly what it is, it slips away like air through our fingers. It's not just us who struggle with this question. Philosophers and scientists around the world have been trying to figure it out for centuries. Many theories and ideas compete with one another. But so far, no one has found a clear answer. It's a strange and even unsettling thought. We don't really understand what makes us aware of ourselves and our surroundings. Consciousness is often linked to intelligence, though the two are not exactly the same. We'll explore those ideas more deeply in future videos. Like many aspects of being human, our consciousness probably developed gradually over millions of years. It likely started from simpler forms, slowly evolving through countless tiny steps, shaped by natural selection. But what was the first step? How did life move from being completely non-conscious to developing even the most basic form of awareness, eventually leading to the complex minds we humans have today? Let's consider something simple, a stone. Most people agree that a stone isn't conscious, but not everyone sees it that way. Some thinkers, called panpsychists, believe even a rock might have some kind of inner experience. Still, there's no real evidence for this. Stones don't show any behavior, and we have no way of proving or disproving that they have any inner life. A more common place to start is with living organisms. A living thing, or self, is a part of the universe that keeps itself alive and creates more of its kind. To survive, it needs energy, and that's where awareness becomes useful. The first role of consciousness might have been to help a moving creature, running low on energy, to find food. Interestingly, not all life needs to be conscious to eat. For example, one of the simplest animals, Trichoplaxid herons, moves randomly. It slows down when it senses food and speeds up when it doesn't. There's no real thinking involved, just a basic reaction. So here's a question for you. Do you think consciousness is something only humans have, or could it exist in simpler forms of life too? This behavior is quite effective. It helps the tiny creature spend more time where there's food and less time where there isn't. But it doesn't actually move in a specific direction toward a particular target. It simply reacts to its surroundings, without needing to be aware of them in a conscious way. The first big step toward real consciousness probably came when moving creatures, what we can call mobile selves, started to move with intention. They began to head toward things that were good for them, like food, and away from dangers, like something else trying to eat them. Take Dujacia tigrina, a tiny worm with a cute little face. This worm is sometimes hungry, and sometimes not. That might not sound like a big deal, but it actually is. Because it means the worm isn't just reacting automatically to what's around it. Its behavior depends on its internal state, whether it's full or still looking for food. When it's not hungry, the worm is sluggish, but when it hasn't eaten in a while, it becomes more active and moves toward things that smell like food. It uses special chemical sensors on its head to detect smells in the environment and heads toward the strongest scent. Once it finds food and eats, the worm retreats to a dark, safe spot to rest and digest until hunger strikes again. However, even at this stage, the worm is still just following its nose. It doesn't really know where it's going. There's no clear awareness of the bigger picture. That's where vision comes in, a major leap forward. With vision, animals can sense objects from a distance and understand the space around them. Vision gives depth, context, and direction. It opens up a whole new level of awareness and brings us closer to what we might recognize as human-like consciousness. Eyes or similar visual organs allow animals to lock onto their goals and chase them. But even then, the animal only chases food as long as it can see it. The next major step had to happen inside the mind. To keep chasing food even after it disappears from sight, an animal needs something more, an internal map or mental picture of the world. This allows it to continue searching, guided by memory and desire, not just by what it sees or smells in the moment. Now the creature is aware of a world it can get to know and navigate. It can remember where food was or where it felt safe. This ability to remember things, even when they're not right in front of it, is a powerful sign of growing awareness. One related idea is called object permanence, the understanding that something still exists even when you can't see it. So here's something to think about. Can you imagine how different life would be if we couldn't remember things that aren't right in front of us? This ability to understand that things still exist even when we can't see them is a powerful part of consciousness. It's called object permanence, and some mammals and birds have it. Human babies usually develop this skill around 8 months old, but baby chickens can show it just a day or two after hatching. Being able to remember something that's out of sight also suggests a basic awareness of time, and a sense of time is a big leap forward in consciousness. It allows a creature to not just exist in the present, but to look ahead, to anticipate what might happen in the future. Take adult chickens, for example. They can actually resist eating a meal placed in front of them if they expect a bigger reward later. This ability to wait for something better, known as delayed gratification, shows that they can imagine a future that doesn't exist yet, and to be honest, even many adult humans find that difficult. Western scrub jays take it a step further. These clever birds hide food in secret spots to eat later, and if they notice another bird watching, they'll move the food to a new hiding place. This means they understand that other creatures also have thoughts, needs, and goals, just like they do. That's a huge sign of advanced consciousness. It's called theory of mind, the ability to understand that others have their own perspectives. This mental skill helps with everything from empathy to strategy. You can comfort a friend who's upset or outsmart a rival in a competition. And then comes language, one of the most powerful tools of all. Language builds on these abilities and takes them further. It allows us to represent things that aren't present, share ideas, make plans, and even reflect on who we are. Thanks to language, we can ask deep questions about our existence and even explore our own consciousness. So where did consciousness begin? It likely started very simply, as the directed movement of a hungry creature toward a food source. That simple drive gave it a survival advantage over others that moved randomly or didn't move at all. From that basic beginning, the urge to eat came everything else. Our dreams, our inventions, our art, and our curiosity about the universe all trace back to that ancient motivation. Even now, with all our progress, we still think about food constantly. In fact, we've become so good at getting food that we barely have to think about it at all. It just comes to us. So what do you think? How far has our hunger-driven evolution really taken us? And how much of our consciousness still revolves around satisfying our basic needs?